Hey everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you're all fine. Welcome back to my channel. Um, I said the last time I was sick and then I felt a little bit better. Well, the joke was on me. Kind of had a relapse in that, so that's why I've been absent a little bit. Um, so today I had a lot of catching up to do. I was feeling a little bit better and I was in the mood for, some YouTube videos. And I saw the tag, the title already said it, right? 54321 Tarot. A VR to Kelly Bear. And I have not been tagged by anybody, but I'm a small channel. I might never get tagged. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it. So I hope that's okay. um, the to dive directly in, the first one was, 5 tarot decks of my choice. And I was really thinking, I was like, well, maybe I can do 5 African decks, or black creators. And then I was like, but yeah, I did recently a mass market of Afrocentric decks. Then I was like, well, maybe my 5 favorite black creators. And then I was fighting because there was also Oracle. So I kind of was like, well, leave it alone then. Never mind. I kind of got pissed at myself. But then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do the 5 last tarot decks I bought. And even though I've showed some already, I thought, this is what it's gonna be. So to start, I'm just gonna put something that's on the top, because this is in a separate box with another deck. This is a deck I created myself. It's my Rastafarian Tarot, and I'm really liking it. Absolutely love it. So I thought I will show this one. I made this for a very specific practice I'm having. I've showed my Bob Marley Oracle, and I have other decks in that genre, to say it like that. However, I didn't have a full tarot deck. I had some majors only, but I wasn't really happy with that. So I thought some time ago already, to just create one of for myself, which I've been doing, I think, over the past year or something. And well, it was recently done, so I had it shipped to the printer. So this is one of the latest ones that came in, which is again the Rastafarian Tarot. Absolutely love the deck. Very happy, even though you can see it's definitely a pip deck. But for me, there's meaning in that, because I already don't read in that, RWS kind of way, right? So yes, definitely one that I'm cherishing, even though it's, recently new. I just love it. I absolutely love it. So yes, that's the Rastafarian one. Let's see. Okay, just pick it up. This one I got in a bookstore that sells secondhand decks. It's a Russian version of the Marseille tarot, and I was kind of intrigued, especially by the colors. But in all honesty, it was really cheap, because later on I felt with, for example, the suit of cups, it was really a little bit lacking. It was almost like it was too neutral in colors, because those primal colors, right? Sometimes they're too stark for me in that sense. And yeah, this is still in order, because after I bought it, I felt back sick, so I didn't really have the time. Normally, like I said, I do love the green and the purples and the oranges. I really like that. And the softer kind of, even when they're primal, but they're a little bit softer. However, the more I looked at it, I was not a fan of all the faces. But again, I mean, it was super cheap. I think I paid €2 for it or something. So it's definitely not lost. With the ones that have a name, you have the Russian one and then you have the French one. So it's not like we cannot see what is what. We definitely can. So yeah, let me go a little bit further. Here you can see definitely good coloring. It's still a little bit fake, a little bit soft, right? So again, let's go a little bit further. Yeah, here I had a little bit more problems with the cups. Here you don't notice because there's a lot going on, but here the cups are very soft. A little bit too soft for my liking. But again, I didn't mind exploring. So yes, this is one of the decks. Kind of want to keep it in order till I really feel 100%, and then I will dive into it with a fresh mind. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, another one I've shown now a few times because it has become one of my favorites very, very fast. I mean, I knew I would love it, but it even rose up to that occasion, in the sense of it definitely yeah, it definitely did even more than I was expecting it to do. So this is the Delta Enduring. I already said in my video, it's not an original copy. I made one for myself, and I love everything about this one. Like I said, I knew I would love it. This is why I went above and beyond to get my own version, you know. Because with all due respect, but I'm not paying 500 or 1,000 euros for a deck. It's just not gonna happen. I can win the Euro Millions tomorrow, and I would still not buy a deck for that kind of money. It's a principle thing for me, you know. Yeah, it's a principle thing. Leave it at that. But yeah, since I have it, I think there are, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 cards that the quality is not superb. The rest is absolutely better even than I imagined. But there are 4 or 5 cards that are, well, less. You can definitely see that they're not as great as the rest. And I'm not bothered by it, you know. Those cards come up and I'm not bothered by it at all. Normally that would bother me. Listen, if it was the other way around, if the rest of the deck sucks and I had only 5 cards, you know, that were great, then I probably wouldn't even have done it. But yeah, with this one, I'm just loving this deck. Yeah, definitely something magical for me. So yes, that's the Delta Enduring. So this is one of my newer decks, and like I said, it's becoming a fast favorite. Like I said, I knew I would love it. I mean, this is why I went through all the trouble, well, to get myself a copyright. It's just even better than I expected it to be. Okay, I've shown this one too because, well, it was like one of my unicorns, and I went from looking for this collection for a long time, then settling on the fact that it would come mass market. Still a little bit in my heart, like, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do it justice and all of that, you know. But I was okay. I was like, at least I have it, right? Finding the special edition, and then from the same buyer, she was like, oh, but I also have the first edition and the Oracle. And again, within a time span of 2 months, I went from having none to, well, having them all. So this one is not only definitely a favorite in this moment, you know, but yeah, it's one of the last ones that came in, and I'm loving everything about it. I mean, this moon card, I love it. It always reminds me of, well, the story, right? The parting of the Red Sea. Yes, cannot help it, kind of like it. So yes, this one was one, again, that I waited on for so long. And then I got it really at a good price. The seller was just asking the buying price for her, you know, that would be compensated. So she was more than fair because they're new. I could see that they may have been looked at one or two times, but not really used. So again, I'm just very happy. So yes. Oh, did I mention? Sorry. I mean, I think most will know, but the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcanas. So yes, definitely a favorite in this moment, but again, also one that was recently brought into, well, my collection. I don't like the word collection. It's what we call it, right? Collection, but I'm not really a collector. Um, I love my decks that can be able to use them. Anyway, and then the last one, because that was number 4, so this is number 5, is the Moonchild Tarot, the Shadow Edition, I think it's called, right? And I'm thoroughly enjoying this one as well. I think all of that came in, maybe except maybe the Marseille one, because I haven't really experienced it. Like I said, I just went through it and then I got sick again, you know, or I had a relapse, and I haven't really been playing with it, but that will come with time. But the rest that I'm using, yeah, I absolutely love all of them. I mean, that's the whole point, right? If we're gonna bring in decks, then we better love them. So yes, I love the colorations. I love all the changes. I also love the things that didn't change, you know, that I still have those favorite cards. But yeah, I love the coloration in this deck. Yeah, I just love it. I'm very happy. I talked with a friend, and I was honest. I felt a little bit decadent for buying it because, even in all honesty, the original Moonchild is not a deck that I use all the time. So I was feeling a little bit decadent, like, yeah, do I need to spend that money, you know? And even after I bought it, I was even doubting it. Like, yeah, is it really necessary? And then I got it, and then, yeah, I can only say that I was more than happy because getting this one actually gave the original one and this one a job in a specific oh my god, specific practice, I'm sorry, that I'm having. So yes, it was definitely decadent, not gonna lie, but it also made my original one come out more now because, well, I got an idea now what I want to do with them. So yes, I'm definitely loving this one. I mean, oh my god, the cauldron. I mean, I'm not a witch, you know? I mean, I'm a practitioner of hoodoo, but I don't consider myself a witch, you know? I'm a woodworker, a diviner, a healer, but yeah, not per se a witch. But I'm loving this card. So, yes. So yeah, that one, well, was the last one that I'm showing. There have been other decks that have come in, but others were more oracle. These were the last 5 tarots that came in. Okay, so then we had 4 books. I've seen some of the responses to this tag, and some were really tarot books and others were not. And I don't have tarot books. It has been some time ago that I learned tarot. And I've learned it from, again, a different perspective than the RWS. And over the years, I've just not invested in books because, well, it sounds a little bit arrogant, but I'm good at reading my cards. I've been reading playing cards since I was a child, and I advanced in my teens, you know, to tarot. And like I said, even then, we didn't really work with books like that. I've considered over the years, you know, like, maybe do I need to? But then I was like, no, because I have a specific way of reading. I don't need to read like everybody else does. In the sense of that I need to do it through a book. So I've never really invested in it because I know it will be on my shelves and then I'm not really gonna go to it. because it's not something I'm missing. Okay, long story short, so I took out other spiritual books that I'm really, really loving, you know. I have 3 that will count as one because they all belong together for me. Um, it's in Dutch, but it's about the Winti spirituality. That is a Suriname spiritual practice that has its roots in African spirituality. In Suriname, you know, a lot of transatlantic slaves were brought, and in that time they really still practice, you know, their African spirituality. Of course, over the years, things not per se changed. Excuse me. So they didn't really change, but they were maybe more adapted to their own culture in that moment, you know? And when I look at the practice of root work that I was taught when I was fairly young, I always knew that even in that, you know, the root of it was in the Winti tradition. However, even my grandma, who was born in Suriname, you know, never really dove into that. Yeah. And I want to. So over the years, you know, I have been reading up and trying to understand a little bit more. So yeah, all these 3, you know, are about the Winti spirituality, and like I said, that really is rooted, you know, in African spirituality. This one is of Henry J.M. Stephan, but in all honesty, I don't know if these books are even in English. I'm not gonna lie. It was even hard for me to find these over the years. In all honesty, I maybe should do a new search. So this one is of him, and then these 2 are of Kenneth verse Babel. Here, sorry. Both have definitely deep roots, you know, in the Winti tradition. So yeah, these 3, like I said, even though there are 3, I'm gonna count them as one because I go from this one, then I go in this one, you know. I go through them like they're one book in that sense. So yes. Those are those. Let's see. I have one of these. Stories of root workers and hoodoo in the Mid-South. For example, I have Working the Root, and other hoodoo books, but this one I particularly like because of the storytelling aspects, you know. I am. So there's really a storytelling aspect in this, and again, I'm really enjoying the way that reads. So yes, Stories of Root Workers and Hoodoo in the Mid-South by Tony Cale, if I say that correct. So yes, I mean, we have information about hoodoo, of course, but again, the stories, that is what interesting to me. I love stories. So that's this one. Let's see. I have here The Destruction of Black Civilization, Great Issues of a Race from 4500 BC to 2000 AD. This is a little bit more, even though it's a story, it's still in a little bit of a story form, but it's history of Africa. And a lot of research was done. I'm not a big fan of the teeny tiny big kind of lettering, but yeah, okay, that's what it is. The information in this, however, it's one of my favorite books. It's by Chancellor Williams. I have other, of course, history books from Africa. I mean, I got a lot, but yeah, you need to make choices when you have 4, right? I already cheated with the 3 in 1. So if I really needed to pick a favorite, which is really hard, but I think this one is a great read, you know, to really dive into Black history, the history of Africa. So yes, the destruction of black civilization. Because for me, even if I say it's history, for me the African history is spiritual. Knowing that history is a spiritual concept, because from the moment we know where we come from, yeah, it's gonna pave the way of where we want to go. So again, even though it might be seen as a history book, for me this is very, very spiritual. Okay, another one. I think I showed it the last time also, but it's the Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. Basically, these are all his speeches. There are 2 volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. And like I said, it's basically speeches and things he said. Let's go to the beginning, because there are smaller, like almost like quotes, But for me, these speeches, you saw his intelligence and what he is saying, how intelligent it is. The fact that it's 1 second, Mimi, stop it, Mimi. I'm sorry, my cat. Trying to get my attention. So yes, like I said, the way he talks about that Pan-Africanism, going back to your roots. Again, for me, that is very spiritual. I heard about who Marcus Garvey was when I was 17. Yeah, I think I was 16 or 17. So that was really in my informative years, at least teen years, right? And he really set that stage for me of how I think and how I approach things and the way I look at things. Especially because I am of mixed race. And that was it was a very difficult thing when I was younger, because, I always said I was never black enough for the black kids, nor was I white enough for the white kids. And that really left me a little bit in the middle. And yeah, when I found, who Marcus Garvey was, and I dived into that, that really gave me, structure for my own life, a kind of way that it was almost like the way of my thinking. Yeah. When I read this, it was like almost solidified. Like, it's okay to think like that, because I'm not the only one thinking like that. And for me, my mind, yeah, is again a very spiritual thing. Especially when we talk about manifestation, yeah, it's all of the mind and your intentions and your desires. But everything for me, it starts with the mind, yeah, with the thought. And yeah, this is why this is definitely one of my favorites, spiritual books, because again, for me, history and Pan-Africanism, Africa in itself, right, is all very spiritual. So yes, enough said about that one. And then another one, okay, you might find that weird, but still, it's something that is, for me, sometimes closest to, I feel like, what might be true. Because I'm not a religious person, I don't find that when I read the Bible, everything that it says, is factual. Or when I read the Quran, like, it's a factual thing. However, I do find that when you look at the Torah, the Quran, the Bible, there are morals, in these stories. And again, some you need to take with a big grain of salt, but I think when you emancipate your mind, yeah, you gonna see and know, what is, truth and what is not, and for me, these are moral issues. And one of the things I actually love to read, I mean, this is one version. I have a bigger version, but I thought I will take this one, is the Kabbalah, which is basically what they say a Bible for Rastafarians, which is not really true, in all honesty, because this is just like a teeny tiny part of one story, right? But it mostly focuses, yeah, on Solomon, right? Because again, when you go to Rastafarianism, yeah, it's when we look at Haile Selassie, it's the line of King Solomon. Anyway, this one I definitely enjoy, and I took this one because it also in the back, I think it was, right, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, in the back you have some references to some songs, yeah, of Bob Marley. So it says here also, of the many prophets of Rasta, there is only one who stands out as the cornerstone of today's faith. He is a man like Solomon, a man so gifted, so wise. He is compared with Joseph of Egypt. He is called the one who sits in the right hand of Selassie. Bob Marley is named a prophet. Well, we don't all agree on that, but okay. His words ring true. Speaking out across the ocean of nations. Here then is how Bob Marley took the sweet honey from the rock, the Bible, and the oral teachings of the Ethiopian elders, which come from the Kabra Nagas, and made them his own. Because you can see in his songs, in his lyrics, you know, there's definitely phrases or sentences that refer back, you know, to parts of the Bible, of course. So here they give you then the little lyric of Bob Marley, and then here is the part of the Bible. So yeah, even that is in the back, which I definitely like, I cannot lie. So yes, this for me definitely, again, a spiritual book. It's again for me about what teaches us morals, right? How we stand in life, how strong we are, how we dig our roots, you know, and grow from there. So yes. Okay, those were the books. Again, I had more than 5, but the 3 first ones are like 1. Sorry. Okay, so then we have number 3, which is 3 spreads I use. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Do I have? Yeah, I have. Yeah, okay. This is an oracle because I thought let's do the spreads then, right? And yeah, I'm gonna use the Rastafarian one. They might not match. It's just to show, you know, because, well, it's out there. Okay. So one of my, well, easiest or favorite spreads in that sense. Because again, normally I would say I don't do spreads, and I will do that one in a second also, how I would do it. But let's try. So when I do a 3-card spread, there is one oracle. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, I really like that. I'm not gonna lie. I do 1 oracle. So I ask a question, I pull a card, you know, and then here we have ancestral connection. And I'm going to question from that point on. So depending on what the question was, you know, and I would get ancestral connection, I might ask, you know, how can I best connect, you know, to my ancestors? How can I make that ancestral connection? Or how can I deepen that ancestral connection? And then I would take 2 tarot cards. I'm just pulling right now. And then we have the Oracle of Fire, which is the Queen of Wands, to say it like that. And this is the High Priest, which would be the Hierophant, right? And I would see how that would, well, mix in with well, the focus card, right? For me, that oracle, you know, that is a focus card. In all honesty, you could even have the focus one and then pull it like this, as I do that also, but then it becomes a 4 card, right? But yes, that's a way to do it, or just, well, like this, right? To have them next to each other. So yeah, like I said, that main question, and I will pull a card, you know, and then I will see what that is, and then I will formulate that question around that focus card, right? So if I would get this, yeah, how exactly or where exactly am I blinded? What am I not seeing? You know what I mean? And then again, I will pull 2 others. Healing past. Okay, what exactly in my past do I need to heal, or what is holding me back from my past? I think you will get the picture, right? So that one is definitely one that I definitely like. That was a lot of definitelys in there. Another one, and in all honesty, that one is not mine. Let me get my deck. It was one of the first spreads I tried, because again, I will do the last one, what is really my favorite. But this one is of Miss Kelly from The Truth in Story. I kind of changed it a little bit. Because she calls it her 3 voices reading, where she uses Lenormand, she uses tarot, and then she uses an oracle. So I'm not really a Lenormand reader. However, I love my playing cards. So I was like, I can substitute that. So let me see. Let's see. So, am I still in the picture? I hope I'm still in the picture here. Okay. Let's go a little bit closer. I still hope I'm in the picture, guys. All right. If I'm not in the picture, I'm doing a 9 card in the middle. And again, these might not all aesthetically be pleasing, you know. But yeah, I think you will catch my drift. And then I'm using 4, and I don't know if she did that. It might be, you know. I might have taken it from her, I don't know, but I'm using then the elements. Earth, air, fire, water. Yes. And then I will use, let's see. I don't know if I'm still in the picture, so I'm going to put them on there. But normally I would put them at the side to end it, you know. I will use 2 oracles in the end. And that gives this mixture of different kind of energies and different kind of reading well, cards, right? Where oracle might be more direct, you might need to dig deeper into your tarot. Like I said, for me, oracle is really a focus kind of thing, right? Where tarot can go deeper, and then playing cards, I have that quick kind of thing. But then I look at the whole, right? And this comes into my last kind of reading, because I actually do that in this too, but this is more organized, you know. I'm looking at the story, right? If I see here a story that may correspond with, well, the card all the way there, I will take that. And if I see here a story and that might connect to these 2, you know what I mean, I will take that and I will gather that all up together to form that story, you know. So that is one. And like I said, that's not mine. Yeah, I really loved when I saw it from Miss Kelly, from, again, The Truth in Story. I will link her. I think she did a video on it. If I can find it, I will link the specific video. Otherwise, I will just link her channel. And, well, you can check it out from there. And then the third, like I said, it's a little bit like that story. Because what I would do then... okay, let's give this one a shuffle for now. Like I said, for me, that's kind of a conversation story kind of way that I read. If I'm really gonna use more cards, you know, I will ask the question, and depending on what I want, I might start, you know, with 2 cards. And what I get from that, yeah, I might ask a different question, or I might go deeper into that question, and I might pull again 2 cards. And even then, when I want to go deeper, you know, I'm just pulling cards until I feel like I have enough. This might actually go on till half the deck, and sometimes it only goes till 2 or 4 cards. But as long as I feel like there are layers that I want to explore, I go deeper. And the fun part is, when I'm done, I know it. It's really weird. Like I said, sometimes I can go till half a deck and I'm like, really? And then I pull 1 or 2 more cards, and that answer really feels like a closure, and I'm done. So that is one way how I do, well, my story conversation kind of way. And like I said, even in another way, even if I would just take 3 cards, yeah, it doesn't mean I'm reading them like this, yeah. I can begin here, go there, go there. I can begin there, go here, go there. You know what I mean? Like, I mismatch. I make the story when I read it. Because like I said, there's always this intertwining and mixing, you know, in the way I read. And I kind of like that, yeah. I don't want to be bound with, for example, past, present, future. Because, okay, the future brings hope, really cruel right now, right? The Four of Earth, a stable kind of, well, root grounding in the present. Yeah, I mean, I'm sick. I'm not stable right now. And in the past, you know, that spiritual teacher. I mean, it's kind of funny, right? It kind of makes sense right now. But sometimes things pop up that I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to do with one card for that past, present, or future relation, you know. So like I said, I'm weaving and mixing and going through them in that kind of way. So that's not really a spread, because I always say I don't really like spreads. There are, like I said, the 3 voices reading I actually really love. It is more organized, but because I still have a lot of cards on my desk, I feel like I can weave anyway, right? Yeah, so, okay. That one was that one. And then 2 tarot habits or paraphernalia. Okay, 1 second. So yes, I said, yeah, I don't really have paraphernalia because, again, for me, okay, how do I say that politically correct? For me, tarot, oracle, playing cards, it's all about, well, divining, you know, looking further than maybe what I can see with my eyes in this moment. I'm sorry, there's a fly in my house because I got my window open. So yeah, paraphernalia, I don't really have that, yeah. Because again, divination is a spiritual practice for me, and except for the cards I'm having, even extra cards. I was thinking about this one and I actually forgot to pull it out. Paraphernalia, I do keep my thank you cards, you know. This was from the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. What is this? This one was a thank you card on the back. This one is a thank you card. I actually make this thing, you know, to put it in there. Okay, whatever here. Oh yeah, House of Formlab. It's a Dutch store in Amsterdam. That I've actually been when I went with my daughter, but now mostly, of course, online. I have some cards here from the Sacred of the Bee Tarot. How horrible. You have the Keepers of the Sacred Bee or the Journey of the Sacred Bee. Well, one of those. I got here more like stickers and these things and bookmarks and, well, a little bit of these extra that you sometimes get, because I'm not really huge with Kickstarter. Excuse me, because for me, you know, everything that I buy outside of Europe, yeah, will bite me in the ass because I will pay double by the time it's going to be imported, you know. So I need to be well, conscious in what I'm buying in that sense. And like I said, even here, the one of the Somnia Tarot, a little thank you here. I got this feather. So these are here. Or this was from the creator of the Spacious Tarot. There was apparently one card where, well, the head of the bird was kind of chopped off. So she kind of sent me a new one for that. So these things, you know, if they're cute and if I feel like I don't want to throw them away, I will put them here in this thing I made for it. And there they stay. But yeah, paraphernalia, I don't really have. No, I don't really have. I'm really thinking, you know. No, I can't come up with anything. I saw, because I did watch Robin from Robin's Reflection. She talked about her crystals. And of course, I mean, these are a few that I have here in front of me. I have here some that I can reach. It's one of my favorites. Um, I have here my big ass cowrie shell that I'm really, really loving. But yet, no really tarot paraphernalia. I got shells around me, except for the cowrie shell. There are other shells. I got crystals around me. I love my African statues. I mean, this is a crystal. Oh my God, I'm horrible. Okay, I don't know the English word for bracelets. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I've really been sick. um, and after my mother's passing, I got some of her stuff, you know, and these two bracelets were from her. And recently on a flea market kind of thing here in my neighborhood, I found these two little statues, male and female, and I thought they were so beautiful and cute and beautiful. They're really heavy. And I was looking for a place for these bracelets, and I was like, well, I can make necklaces out of them for them. So I kind of put them there. I can always use them still, but for now, you know, they're there. So yeah, like I said, I'm sorry. I don't really have tarot paraphernalia. I got tarot and I got decks. No paraphernalia. I'm really boring. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did this tag. No, kidding. But yeah, like I said, I don't have tarot books. I don't got tarot paraphernalia. What am I doing in this tag? I'm just having fun. Okay. And then the first one, yeah, number one, not the first one, number one, sorry. One piece of advice, you know, to fellow readers. Yeah, readers, I'm sorry. Be yourself. Okay, what I'm gonna say next, you know, just understand what I'm trying to say, because really I'm not in the mood for hate mail or hate comments, you know. I know that there are a lot of big influencers, especially in tarot tube, you know, and we all wanna be a part of that, right? We all wanna be their best friend, so to speak, right? Do what they do, have what they have. And it's not just, let me be honest, it's not just in tarot tube land, right? I think this is a little bit like that celebrity status, right? But to be honest, we're not teenagers anymore. Yeah, we're grown-up people. So be yourself. Don't get me wrong, I love all these tarot tube people. I watch them too. But I understand that, for example, yeah, one of my favorite people doing a walkthrough is Miss Kelly from The Truth and Story. Because basically, she is the salesman that sells me ice, and I'm living in Antarctica, right? I don't need ice, but she can sell me ice. In the way that she does a walkthrough, you know, even if I don't need the deck, I want the deck. I know I don't need it, but after watching her walkthrough, I'm like, that's the best deck ever. But I can put that back in perspective. You know what I mean? Because we're all talking about decluttering and overwhelmed and this and that. But again, be yourself, you know? We can all breathe before we want to buy the deck, or before we want to also do this, or this. Because again, I don't mean this in any disrespect, and I know I might sound harsh, you know, and I don't mean it like that. I'm just sometimes baffled that we're grown-ass people, and we it's like we're the nerds of high school, and we all want to follow the popular girls or people. And sometimes I'm just wondering, you know, what happened. So my advice is, again, be yourself. Even if everybody else has that deck, if you don't need it, if you're not sure or whatever, don't do it. Spend that money on something else. Like I said, I could buy 100 tarot books, and I could show them all, and maybe I can make my tarot channel bigger, you know, but it's not me. You know, it's not me, so I'm not gonna do it. And I know that sometimes, even when we're older, we still have that peer pressure, right? Of doing or getting what somebody else has. But in all honesty, you know, it's craziness. Be yourself, yeah. If you are a person that loves pip decks, but the rest of the tarot tube community hates pip decks, okay, I'm a small channel, so I can say it. Who the fuck gives a shit? You know? Do what you want to do. Be who you want to be. Don't try to be somebody else, you know? Because it's never going to work. It's never going to stay. You buy that deck because somebody else loves that deck. But the thing is, whatever experience they have with that deck, you're buying the deck. You're not buying that exact same experience. You know, okay, that's all I'm gonna say, because I know, you know, it might sound harsh and people might come after me. It's a good thing I'm a small channel, right? But again, you know, be yourself. Yeah, ground yourself, be true to yourself, and we don't need to be all like, well, the bigger channels. They're awesome, and we can watch them and enjoy them. But again, be you. Be you, be you. That's all you need to do. Hey, that rhymed. See? Be you, that's all you need to do. We're gonna keep that one. Okay, that was the last one. Am I gonna tag somebody? I don't know anybody. You know what? I do know who I'm gonna tag. I'm gonna tag Miss Phoenix. I will put her below. She already promised me one video, and then she came true. You know, because I asked her to do a walkthrough of the Kaleidodope tarot, and it's a deck that's on my mind for some time. Yeah, and she was so sweet. Yeah, a few hours later, there it was, the walkthrough of that deck. So I'm gonna tag her. I mean, Robin already did it. Yeah, so I cannot tag her. If I tag anybody else, you will find it in the description. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Please, again, take my words or my advice with a grain of salt. I mean the best, you know. I don't mean any disrespect. Again, I love these channels too. But again, be yourself. That's all you got to do. So, thank you again for watching. I hope I can make some extra videos this week. Or at least come up with some extra videos. I'm feeling a little bit better even now. I don't know how long I've been talking, but I kind of feel like sweaty because a lot of energy. But I'll be back. I'll be back. Okay, thank you all for watching. You all know what to do. Stay kind, stay safe, be blessed. Okay, bye-bye.